What's happening, YouTube? It's Simon466 Cards, and today we're going to talk through the math behind the backyard breaks conspiracy theory. If you're new to the channel, I do weekly sports cards videos on business, on economics, and on data analysis. Sometimes I do a couple more videos per week, but generally I try to put up one per week. Here we go. So let's do a recap of what happened. In October of 2022, this person, Eric Whiteback, posted this on Twitter, commenting that something was going on, something fishy was going on with the amount of products and hits being pulled out of backyard breaks and their breaks. So he posted this, and then he took a screenshot or put this together, a collage of all these products. And this was the first thing that struck me. Logo men cards are nice, but I don't know that anybody's losing their minds over a Jalen Suggs auto logo man. Like, he might not be a good basketball player at this point. Like, bench player at best. Why is this a conspiracy theory? Obi Toppin, same thing, bench player, nice little player. Like if you had more of these Zion logo men and players of that ilk, then sure, let's talk, right? And so, like Zach Wilson, sure, like I'm not a big football guy, but I don't think he's very good. Trey Lance, like what's he ever done? Like, so right off the bat, there's a lot of second tier players, for lack of a better phrase. I know they're young, they're rookies, yada, 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 but are we getting that excited about these guys? So that was my first thought. But now let's walk through the actual math. He's honing in on these four specific cards, right? The Flawless LeBron triple logo man, the Warriors triple logo man, the Cade Cunningham Black Prism, and the Cade Cunningham National Treasures logo man auto. And then he runs through some math and he says, like, basically the odds of this happening, pulling those four exact cards, and that's the key point there, is that there is a 1 in 117,000 chance of pulling all four cards, right? And so this is when I say I'm actually not going to question this math. I mean, at a first glance, without like diving too much into it and obviously like running all the numbers, sure, like this looks about right based off of what he's got here and a bunch of assumptions that he's making, right? But now I want you to walk with me through this thought exercise. So with that being said, so here we go. I just want you to come on a little mathematical trip with me here. Not that kind of trip. And so this is where, let's start from the beginning. This is the four cards that have spawned this conspiracy theory. And how is Backyard Breaks pulling these four, and I'm using the exact quote, undisputed product hits, right? So there's one from National Treasures, there's one from Prism, and then there's also two from Flawless, which is interesting, right? You would think that there's only one product hit for each product, but he's saying that there's two product hits from these products. So that certainly, at face value, that looks suspicious. How is one group, one breaker, obviously the biggest breaker out there, but how are they pulling all of these? It certainly looks suspicious, right? Now let's do a hypothetical thought exercise. Let's start here. This combination, LeBron triple logo man, Warriors triple logo man, Cade Black, National Treasures, Cade logo man auto. That combination, you're like, oh, that looks really suspicious. How did they get all four, right? Let's do an exercise here. If they being Backyard Breaks still pulled the LeBron triple logo man, but instead of pulling the Warriors triple logo man, what if they pulled the Zion Luka Tatum logo man? I would actually argue that for the hobby, at the very least, Zion Luka Tatum is a better card than the Warriors triple logo man. Okay? All right. And instead of the Cade Black 1 of 1 from Prism, what if Backyard Breaks pulled the LeBron Black 1 of 1? And instead of the Cade Logo Man Auto 1 of 1 from National Treasures, what if they pulled a Luka Curry Trey triple auto 1/1. And again, I would argue that would be a bigger card than the Cade, just because Luka Curry on the same card. Trey is obviously fallen down off a little bit, but also keep in mind this post was made in October 2022, and Trey hadn't had quite the falling out with the hobby. Let's just call it that. And so this, if you look at this combination now, the LeBron triple logo man, Zion, Luka, Tatum, a LeBron black, and then a Luka Curry Trey triple auto 1/1, all 1/1s, you would be like, if they had that combination of 4, I think everybody would be like, oh wow, what's going on with backyard breaks? How are they pulling all these big hits? You'd have the same reaction, right? So let's continue with this this little experiment. What if I said, all right, okay, they pulled the Cade Black. What if they also pulled the Cade Nebula 1/1 from Prism? And then, keeping in mind, this is October of 2022 when Eric posted that tweet. Jalen Green was a big thing. So what if they also pull Jalen Green, right? Obviously the Rockets have been horrendous this year, and Jalen hasn't looked great, but in October, that would have been considered a top product hit, right? An undisputed product hit, as to quote Eric. And then what if we also pull the National Treasures Cade and Jalen Green dual auto 1/1, and you look at these 4. If you see this combination of 4 cards, the Cade Black, Cade Nebula, Jalen Green Black, and then a dual 1/1 auto from these 2 guys from NT, I mean, that certainly looks suspicious, right? Look at that combination. Something's fishy going on there. And let's continue with this exercise. What if from Flawless they pulled a Giannis Durant Curry triple logo man 1/1? They also pulled the Luka Zion Tatum logo man triple logo man 1/1. What if they also pull the Anthony Edwards LaMelo Halliburton triple logo man 1/1? And then just for the hell of it, a Luka logo man auto 1/1. And then again, if the internet, if the hobby saw this, you would have the exact same reaction. This is backyard breaks. How are they pulling all of these hits? This is the fix is in, right? And so we can keep on doing this. The Zion logo man 1/1, a Zion logo auto 1/1, which they actually pulled, right? If you look up here, that's what this card is right there. That's the Zion logo man. There's also, let's say they pulled the Giannis Curry dual logo man, and then a Zion logo man auto from NT, not to be confused with the Flawless Zion logo man auto 1/1. And then just for the heck of it, let's throw in a Steph Curry Nebula from Prism 1/1. You look at that combo, fixes in. That's messed up. How is Backyards pulling all of those cards all by themselves? Something's going on here. And last but not least, let's do this one. Let's include the Luka Zion Tatum triple logo man. Let's throw in a Ja Morant logo man auto. Remember, in October 2022, everybody loved Ja. Despite the heel turn him and his team have seen lately, but back in October, everybody loved him. Let's throw in a Cade Cunningham rookie signatures black from Prism, and then let's throw in a Curry logo man auto 1/1. Hopefully you see where I'm heading with this. The problem with this is that there are so many cards. I went through the Prism, NT, and Flawless checklists, and I flagged all the ones that I thought were, to quote Eric, undisputed product hits. There's 43 of them, and I've listed them all here. You can see, like, this whole side on the right here, it's just all flawless stuff, 1/1s, logo mans, laundry tags, autos, and they're all stars. And I'm sure I missed a couple, right? But then you have Prism, you got all these blacks and nebulas, and Jalen Green, LeBron, Curry. Like, I didn't even include Giannis in this group, right? And so this leads to an obvious question: how many actual possible combinations are there based off of this 43? And again, I'm only limiting it to cards from 2020 Prism 2021 Prism, 2021 National Treasures, and 2020 Flawless, because these are the cards that Eric had pulled, which just so happened to be the ones that that Backyard pulled from, these big hits. And so let's actually do the math on that. Here's a fun little calculator online. I've done it for you. 43 for, if you hit this button, it is 123,410 different combinations. If you had a sample of, if you have a population of 43, and what are the number of different combinations of 4 cards with those 43? That's how many there are. But they also pulled this Zion card, right? This Zion Auto Logo Man. So this is actually the odds of pulling 4 or more, or not the odds, the different number of combinations. 4, there's that 122,000. If you have pull 5 cards, it's actually almost 1 million combinations. As you got 6, it just accelerates upwards. And hopefully you see where I'm going with this. It's not about the odds of pulling that exact combination, because that is very, very, very unlikely. It's the fact that there's so many different product hits within Panini and their products. There are so many out there. And what makes a breaker like Backyard Breaks able to pull this many is there's just so many from Panini. Like, they have 43 different kinds, and I'm not including football and all the, Trevor Lawrences and Justin Herberts and all that kind of stuff. If you expand it to like football or baseball or whatever else, then you have combinations of numbers that are way higher than 43, pick 4 out of 43. If you go if you include football, let's say, so that doubles the number. So let's just call that, let's say now there's 70 cards, and now they get double the amount because you've doubled the product, and you go 8. Like, the number here is some preposterously high number, right? Like, they can't even fit it in. That's how many different combinations there are. And so that is the reason why they were able to pull 4 product hits. There's so many product hits that Panini produces every year. Again, so many one-of-ones. Look at this list. And again, I'm pretty sure I'm missing some. So that's really the reason why they're able to pull 4 undisputed product hits. It's because there's so many product hits. And so if you're not following along, if you're still like, I don't believe you, because the odds of that specific combination are whatever Eric said, a bajillion to 1, I want you to think through, and I'm going to come back to this, how someone wins the lottery. This is the analogy I'm going to use. If you buy a ticket, the chances of you winning are 1 in a bajillion. And yet, someone always wins the lottery at some point, right? And then they win $1 bajillion. Nobody ever says the fix is in when someone wins the lottery and wins, like this person won $2 billion apparently. Good Lord, in the States. But it's not because that person had an inside scoop and knew the numbers in advance and they fixed the balls and yada, yada, yada. It's because so many people bought tickets that someone had to win the lotto. Someone had to win the grand prize. That's how this works. So when you go back to Backyard Breaks and the number of hits, it's because there's so many different combinations that some combination of 4 or 5 is bound to end up in Backyard Breaks' hands, because they open so many products, but 2, and the part that is missing completely from Eric's analysis is there's so many product hits from Panini. And so that leads to my question here is, having this many undisputed product hits, could that lead to a price crash at some point? Because they're not as rare as they seem. Because again, look at this list of just superstar one-of-ones or rookie one-of-ones with logo mans and laundry tags and autos and all this kind of stuff. There's so many of them that, do we reach a point where, the hobby goes, wait a second, I mean, this is a Steph Curry 1-of-1, but he also has the Logo Man 1-of-1, and he has another that 1-of-1, and he's sharing one with Tatum 1-of-1. that's actually the question that I have coming out of looking at these numbers. So that's basically the summary. I actually don't believe there's a conspiracy at all, and I think the numbers here prove that. And I think this is a case of, that famous phrase or that saying, you can make math and data and numbers look however you want it to if you use them the right way. I think that's what's happened here, and I hope that Eric wasn't doing that. I actually don't think it was, but this is what happens when analysis goes awry. It's you don't think about the bigger picture of how, sure, the exact sequence of those numbers, one in bajillion, but there's so many different sequences that could have led to the exact same outcome of 4 super rare cards ending up in backyard breaks and their breaks, right? So that's it. That's a video. I hope you found this interesting and insightful. If you found it, if you did, please like and subscribe to my channel. We do stuff like this every week, and as we do always on this channel, we do a preview of the next more longer or more thought out video. I might do some shorter ones throughout the week, and the next one we're going to do is estimating the silver print runs using a mathematical model I put together for Prism Basketball from 2012 to 2019. I'm actually taking this from analysis I did about 6 months ago or some time ago on my Instagram, so I'm basically just recycling that. So if you want to follow me on Instagram as well, I am at the same handle, Simon466cards. So with that being said, thank you for listening and watching. I hope you have a good rest of the week, and I will talk to you all soon. Cheers.